Have you ever noticed that the moment you stop trying, the moment you stop chasing, suddenly he starts paying attention? The moment you pull your energy back, the moment you stop pouring yourself out, he begins to wonder. He starts looking, he starts reaching. Why does that happen? Why does he start to chase the moment you let go? There's a reason, and it's not a trick. It's not a game. It's truth. A man feels the difference when a woman stops proving her worth. He may not understand it right away, but something in him shifts, because the energy he used to take for granted is no longer there. The light he used to bask in has pulled away, and now he feels the absence, the silence, the mystery. Power is not in chasing, it's in becoming the reason he stops running. That's the shift, and it's not about playing cold. It's about coming back to yourself. It's about knowing that you were never meant to beg for space in someone's life. You were meant to take up space in your own. When a woman lets go of the need to be chosen, she becomes magnetic. Not because she is trying to attract him, but because she finally remembers who she is. Imagine a garden, one that is quiet, untouched, blooming on its own. The kind of place that doesn't scream for attention, but draws people in because of how it feels to be near it. That's what happens when a woman begins to live for herself again, when she stops trying to convince him that she's worth it, when she stops proving, begging, waiting. He feels that shift, and something deep in him wakes up. Maybe you were the one who sent the good morning messages first. Maybe you planned everything, held the conversations, held the connection together. Maybe you were always hoping that just one more try would be enough. And now, you're tired. And in that stillness, something strange begins to happen. He notices. He senses that you're no longer there the way you used to be, and now he starts to chase. But before we talk about that, let's talk about you. Not the woman who chased, not the woman who waited, but the one who is now choosing something different, because this is the beginning of something deeper. You are not forgotten. You are not replaceable. You are becoming. And the moment you begin to live like a queen, everything changes, including him. If this message touched your heart, if it reminded you of the power you hold deep inside, the power you forgot while trying so hard to be enough for someone who couldn't see your worth, then like this video and subscribe to the channel. We are working day and night to bring you the truth, the healing, and the strength you deserve. Because you were never meant to chase love. You were meant to rise in it. Number 1, he will chase what he can no longer predict. Have you ever noticed how fast he pulls away when you give him everything, but how quickly he starts chasing when you stop trying? That shift, it's real. Because the moment he can no longer predict you, he feels something he hasn't felt in a long time, uncertainty. And that's what makes him chase. He was used to knowing you'd always answer, always care, always show up. You became familiar, safe, predictable, but love was never meant to be a one-sided performance. And now, you've stopped performing, you've stepped back. You've stopped explaining, stopped proving, stopped running after a man who couldn't see your worth when it was right in front of him. A powerful woman once said, when you stop showing up for him, he finally starts to show up for himself, and then for you. The second he realizes he no longer has your emotions on demand, your words at his fingertips, your love on standby, that's when panic sets in. That's when his mind starts racing, not because you're doing anything, but because he has no idea what you're doing anymore. Think of it like a river. When the water flows every day, calm and predictable, no one notices it. But the moment the river runs dry, People start asking questions. They want it back. They chase it. That's what happens when your energy stops flowing toward him. You don't need to block him, attack him, or prove anything. Just pull your light back, and he'll feel the darkness settle in. He had you when you were trying, but he'll want you when you're not. And now, this is your moment. Not to chase, but to choose. Not to beg, but to become. Because this isn't about proving your worth to a man. It's about remembering that you were never supposed to hand your power away in the first place. You are not lost. You are not invisible. You are stepping into something greater. The woman who once gave too much is becoming the woman who finally gives everything back to herself. This is the beginning of your rise. The moment he stops recognizing you is the moment he starts running after you. Write this in the comments and claim it, queens. He will chase what he can no longer predict. Like this video and subscribe to the channel because we are working hard to bring you the truths, the fire, and the lessons that will change your life. This is not just content, it's your comeback. Number 2. When you detach, you take the power with you. Have you ever noticed how quiet can feel louder than words? How the moment you stop calling, stop reaching, stop giving, he starts to notice everything. That's not a coincidence. That's what happens when you detach. You don't have to yell. You don't have to beg. You just stop. And when you stop, when you walk away with your peace intact, you take the power with you. He used to feel in control. He knew you'd be there, always showing up, always answering, always trying. But now you're silent. Now you're unavailable. And suddenly he feels the shift. Because detachment is not cold, it's clarity. It's the moment you choose your heart over his confusion. The moment you stop chasing is the moment he starts remembering, and not just remembering, but longing. Because your stillness now echoes louder than all your efforts ever did. Think of a candle in a dark room. When it burns, it lights everything. But when the flame is gone, the darkness feels colder than before. That's what you were to him, a quiet, steady light. And now that you've pulled it away, he sees just how much it lit up his life. The warmth, the safety, the comfort, it's gone. Not because you hated him, not because you wanted to hurt him, but because you finally chose yourself. Maybe he thought you'd never leave. Maybe he believed you'd always be there, trying to fix what he kept breaking. But you didn't leave with rage. You didn't leave with revenge. You left with grace. And that's what makes it powerful. Because he won't forget the woman who stopped trying and became unforgettable in her silence. And now, dear woman, it's time. You are no longer the one who waits to be seen. You are the one who sees herself. You are not chasing anymore because you are no longer seeking permission to be loved. You are becoming. You are rising. You are stepping into the life you were always meant to live. You are not his anymore. You are your own. Write this in the comments and claim it. I take my power with me. Let the world know that from this moment on, your energy is not free. It's sacred. We are here, creating powerful and life-changing lessons for every woman ready to stop chasing and start reigning. Number 3. He thought you were always available until you weren't. He used to think you'd always be there, always answering, always caring, always waiting. He thought you were a constant, like the sun that rises every morning no matter how many clouds try to cover it. But what happens when the sun stops rising just for him? What happens when the warmth he took for granted disappears? He never thought you'd go quiet, never thought your energy would shift, never imagined that one day you would stop trying, because you were always the one reaching out, weren't you? You were the one who kept the connection alive, who forgave too much, who made the plans, sent the messages, held it all together. And he got used to it. He thought he had all the time in the world. He thought no matter how far he pulled away, you'd still be there waiting with open arms. But even the strongest hearts get tired. Even the kindest women reach their breaking point. And when you stopped showing up, when you stopped explaining, when your silence replaced your love, he felt it like a thunderclap in a quiet room. Because now he sees what he lost. Now he feels the gap. He reaches, but you're no longer reaching back. Never assume a flame will keep burning just because it always has. One day the fire will go out, and all you'll have left is the cold. That's what he didn't understand. You were the flame, and now that you've pulled back, he's left in the dark, searching, remembering, wanting, because the woman he thought would always be there. She's no longer available. She's done waiting. She's learning to live without the weight of a man who didn't know what he had. Imagine a well that once gave endlessly, water so pure, so constant, so giving, but over time it's drawn from too much, taken for granted, drained without care. And one day, the well runs dry. That's what you've become, no longer giving to someone who only knew how to take. And now he's thirsty for what he can't reach. But now, beautiful woman, it's not just about him. This is about you. This is where you begin again. You are no longer available because you are rising, becoming, reclaiming. You are stepping into the life you are always meant to live. Not as the woman who waited, but as the queen who reigns. Write this in the comments and claim it. He thought I'd always be there, until I wasn't. Queens, let the world hear your voice. Like this video and subscribe to the channel. We are working hard to bring you the life-changing truth you deserve. Because your time is not meant to be wasted. Your love is not meant to be taken for granted. You are not chasing anymore. You are choosing. Number 4. Your stillness will echo in his world like thunder. Have you ever noticed how silence can shake a man more than words ever could? Not the kind of silence that's cold or distant, but the silence that comes after you've tried, after you've given your all, after your heart has been poured out and left unseen. He expected your voice, your energy, your effort, but now all he's left with is stillness. And that stillness, it will echo through his world like thunder. There's a storm in silence, a kind of power that speaks without sound. When you stop trying, when you stop chasing, he starts to feel the void. Because he was used to the way you showed up, the way you stayed even when you were hurting, the way you kept giving even when you were empty. But now you've stopped. And that shift is not quiet. It is deafening. Sometimes the loudest scream is no sound at all, and that is what he begins to feel the moment you let go. He doesn't hear your voice anymore. He doesn't feel your presence. And what once felt ordinary, your love, your care, your effort, suddenly becomes the very thing he misses the most. Think of a bell tower. It rings every day, same time, same rhythm. People stop noticing it after a while, but the day it goes silent, that's when everyone looks up, wondering what happened. Your love was like that bell, constant, faithful, always there. And now that you've stopped, now that you've pulled back, he's looking up in panic. He's realizing what he never truly saw before. This isn't about playing games. This is about stepping back into yourself. You were not made to convince a man to stay. You were not made to carry the weight of a relationship alone. And now that your energy is yours again, now that you've chosen yourself first, he feels it deeply. Suddenly, he's the one watching. He's the one wondering. He's the one chasing. Because this is what happens when a woman chooses her peace. She becomes untouchable. And now, dear lady, now is the time you begin to live like the queen you've always been. No more noise, no more proving, just presence, power, and peace. Write this in the comments and claim it. My silence is the thunder he'll never forget. Queens, let this truth settle in your soul. Your stillness is not weakness, it is your crown. If this message opened your eyes, if it reminded you of the strength that silence can hold, then like this video and subscribe to the channel. We are here creating powerful, life-changing lessons for women like you. Because you were never meant to beg for love, you were meant to reign. Number 5. He will feel the cold the moment your fire stops burning for him. Have you ever watched a fire go out? Not all at once, but slowly, quietly, with every moment it's left alone. At first, it still glows, then it flickers, then one day it's gone, and the cold creeps in. That's what happens when your love, your warmth, your energy is no longer there for him. He might not notice right away. He might think you're still burning quietly in the background, waiting, but the moment your fire stops burning for him, that's when he'll feel it. That's when the cold sets in, and it will hit him harder than anything else ever has. He believed you would always be there, lighting up his world, giving him warmth, holding space for him no matter how far he drifted. He took it for granted. But now that you've stopped trying, stopped chasing, stopped proving, he feels the silence. And in that silence, he finally understands what he lost. There's a saying, a man doesn't miss the fire until he's freezing in the dark. That's exactly what this is. You were the fire that kept him steady, kept him strong. But a fire needs to be fed. It needs care. And he forgot that. Now, as your light pulls back and your warmth fades, he starts to remember what it felt like to be seen by you, to be held by you, to be loved by you. And suddenly, nothing else compares. Imagine a candle in a storm. You held the flame steady through every gust of wind, every wave of doubt, every careless moment. But now, you've placed the candle down. You've walked away, and the light, it's no longer his to hold. That moment of darkness he's now sitting in, that's the moment he starts chasing the fire he thought would never leave. But let's talk about you now. Not the woman who waited in the cold, hoping to be chosen. Not the woman who begged to be seen. You are the fire itself. You are the light, the warmth, the rare kind of love that cannot be replaced. And once a queen stops burning for the wrong man, she starts rising for herself. Queens, write this in the comments and claim it. He will feel the cold he chose. We are working hard to bring you life-changing lessons. Lessons that remind you of your worth, your power, your reign. You were never meant to beg for warmth. You are the fire. Number 6. When you rise without him, he'll feel left behind. Have you ever noticed how quiet it gets when you finally stop waiting for him to change? When you stop checking your phone, when you stop hoping he'll call. At first, it feels heavy, like something is missing. But slowly, something stronger starts to rise in you. And without even realizing it, you begin to rebuild. You begin to glow. And that's when it happens. He starts looking back. Not because you begged, not because you tried harder, but because you didn't. Because you rose without him. And now he feels left behind. A man often doesn't notice the light until it stops shining on him. He took your love for granted. He assumed you'd always be there, always trying, always proving. But now, you've stopped showing up. You've stopped explaining. You've started rising. And that's when he realizes he's no longer part of your story. He's only watching from a distance. There's a quote that says, "When a flower blooms in silence, the world still turns to see it." You are that flower, quiet, graceful, powerful. You didn't chase, you didn't scream, you simply bloomed. And now, he's watching. Because rising without him, that's what will haunt him. That's what will make him chase. Think of a balloon that once floated in his hands. He let go, thinking it would stay nearby. But now you're rising higher and higher, carried by the wind of your own strength. He tries to reach, but you're already above the clouds. And that distance, that's the lesson. He thought he could always come back. He thought you'd still be waiting. But he was wrong. The woman he left behind is not the woman who exists now. Lovely woman, this is your beginning, not the version of you that begged for love, but the one who learned to love herself more. This is not about revenge. This is not about proving anything. This is about stepping into the life you were meant to live. You are no longer asking for space. You are taking it. And now he'll chase because he finally sees what he walked away from. Write this in the comments, beautiful queens, and claim it with your whole heart. I rise without him, and he can't follow. We are here, creating life-changing lessons, building an empire for every woman ready to stop waiting and start rising. Number 7. The day you stop needing him is the day he starts needing you. Have you ever noticed how the moment you stop needing his love, he suddenly starts noticing your absence? It's like the second you let go, he begins to reach. The second you stop trying, he starts wondering where you went. It's not magic, it's truth. A man only starts to feel the weight of losing you when you stop carrying the weight of needing him. You used to try, didn't you? You waited on his replies. You tried to keep the connection alive. You adjusted your words, your needs, your heart, just to keep the peace. And what did he do? He got comfortable. He thought you'd always be there. But here's what he didn't expect. The moment you stood up, the moment you stopped reaching, the moment you realized you were worth more, that's when everything changed. That's when he felt something missing. The second you stop chasing, you become the destination. It's not about pulling away to make him chase. It's about finally standing still because your peace matters more than his attention. When your world no longer revolves around him, when your smile comes from within, not from his approval, that is when he feels the difference. Picture a candle. While it burns, it gives light, it gives warmth. But if it burns too long without rest, it melts down to nothing. You were that candle, always giving, always shining for him, but you were burning out. And now that your light is focused on yourself, he misses the glow, he chases the warmth, he runs after what he thought would never walk away. This isn't weakness, it's your turning point. You are not that tired, waiting woman anymore. You are stepping into something greater, into something stronger, into something unshakable. This is where it begins, the moment you choose yourself over needing him. You don't need saving, lovely woman. You are the fire itself. He will feel it, he will chase it, but he won't be able to own it again. Write this in the comments and claim your power. I don't need him. He needs me now. Say it loud, queens. Say it with pride. And if this message reminded you of your strength, your worth, your light, like this video and subscribe to the channel. We are working hard to bring you life-changing lessons because you were never meant to beg. You were meant to reign.